shade and the shade that it gives to show the location of something is, right?
The idea is that we are using the light to create to give a cue, a psychological cue. Okay. What does it mean? 3D renditions are not real; they are virtual. Are you okay?
Yes.
They are not real. And so what it means is that we are trying to fool the brain to think that it is a place, it's a solid. So we tell the brain that
the darker the place.
Yes, so the darker the place, then we think that the light is blocking that place. It's the light is coming from the other side. And so making us think that the thing is a solid. That's why it was able to block the light.
So when we go back to the one that is showing the distance, the bearings, okay.
Yes.
That one I got a little bit confused as
that would be the aspects. Yes, the aspects.
Yes, we can see without looking at the 3D version. When we are looking at the raster version, we can see that those places, what they are saying is not okay.
Yes.
So if it's a not, you can't I can't actually relate it to not. That's what
Let me. There is one of the reasons why I really feel confident as a specialist in geographic information system is that I do program. When you're a programmer, you know it's possible. Why? Because when you look at this, all you need to do is to first have the slope value. Are you okay? All right. Now, when you get a slope value, the next question is that, okay, am I sloping, in which direction? Are you get what I'm saying? So if I'm sloping this way, the slope is like this. Are you okay? And I put that slope value, just the value, on a sheet of paper. Let's go to the whiteboard, okay? Let's go to the whiteboard so that I can explain further. But you are right. It's not going to be very easy to appreciate that. So, but then I'm just going to go on whiteboard so that we look at it. Whiteboard. I think now I know where to find it. New share, then it becomes available. Okay. Great. So let's assume that you want to talk about. Let's start with the basic. The basic is that you have a digital elevation model. This is how it looks like. Every cell has a value, and the value is the height value. In the case of slope, is that okay? Yes. So we have a DM. Okay. So in this squares, we don't have the color values of the objects. We have the height value of the location. That is where it starts from. So you can now say this contains maybe 20, 25.8. Are you getting me? We give values to every single square. You do that, you'll be having what? A digital elevation model. What is the benefit of it? One of them is we can actually render the surface and obtain, the 3D version. Okay, so Ben, I'm sure it's Ben that was talking, isn't it?
Yes, I am.
Yes, Ben. I know you are keen about this. You're interested. That's good. You have to be interested so that you don't chew a lot of things. Okay, Ben, let's get a slope from our DEM. So the slope is the maximum rate of change, okay, from a cell to the neighboring cells. Store the value there. Okay, let's appreciate that. So from DEM, we generate a slope. From a slope, we generate an aspect. So that is why I want us to move. in that direction. So we are going down and down. So the aspect will be down. All right. So maximum rate of change means start checking the value from here to here. What is the rate of change from here to here? Rate of change. This is what we call the Queen's case. Are you okay? You are looking at all directions and checking which one is the maximum. Then give it to the cell. Then you have, when you do that for all the cells, when you do that for all the cells, you now have a sloped surface. Okay, so if you end up having a very high slope value, then you'll be giving it a color value. Yeah, that represents high value. Slope surface. Ben, I hope this one is clear, right?
Yes, this one is clear.
This one is clear. Okay. All right, now we want to do aspects. So let's stay with the slope. And then let's see how we do that and how we could do that. Okay, so now, first, you can't talk about direction without bringing in your cardinal points. So let's introduce our north. So that will be our north, right? And that will be our, of course, we don't even need that eastern and all that. So to talk about whether I am facing north, east, or west, yeah. So yeah, let's bring them in. So West Africa, west, east. Anytime I want to know where west is, I have to think about West Africa. Can you imagine that? Very bad. Okay, so then how would we go about determining how do we point a direction on this surface? Okay, so I'll just do the basic. Oh, let me just use a different color for this. Yellow maybe. So this direction is actually what?
Northeast.
It's northeast. Are you okay? So it means that we can actually determine direction on a slope surface, can't we?
Yes.
What is aspect? Okay. Let's go back. So if you agree with this, let's go and read the definition for an aspect. Then you see that everything will you just be fine. So we are back. Are you seeing the PDF now?
No, sir.
Hey, are you seeing it now?
No, sir.
Okay, let me double check. Okay, so you must be seeing it now, right?
Yes.
The aspect tool calculates the direction in which the plane fitted to the slope faces. Are you okay?
Okay.
Let's go back to our whiteboard. The stubborn whiteboard that's always hiding from you. Okay, so let me share whiteboard. So what it really means is that I want to know your maximum rate of change in the direction. So look at the arrows I've drawn here. And the fact that I can determine a direction, I can determine a bearing. Are you okay? So you can see that it's possible.
Yes.
Yeah. So if water falls, for example, from this cell, if the maximum value in the slope is actually, let me choose a different color for this. If this is the maximum out of all the possible directions from the Queen's case in chess, please let's learn how to play chess. Everybody hearing me? Yeah. Is Grace in this class? Grace, are you here? If you are here, I want to hear your voice.
Okay, sir. So meaning that it will slope from this thing.
It will slope in the northeast direction.
The northeast direction. So meaning that it will slope from the distance 2-3 to 3-3. A 3
Exactly.
2, right?
Exactly. If you're actually making reference to the coordinates of the, the raster. Okay,
yes.
so Ben, it means that if we go back to our, are you looking at the PDF now? Are you looking at the PDF?
Yes. Yes,
Okay,
please.
so if we look at the aspects, don't look at the rendered one, look at the left one. There is something that it tells us, isn't it? About if it floods, if it starts raining, where would the water be going? In what direction? Or let me get an annotation. So Ben, straight away we can do analysis with the aspects. Can you see that?
Yes.
It goes in the south.
Okay, now.
They will be
Okay,
going
now
in the
I'm
southwest direction. Everything here.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
now I'm getting it now. I'm getting it now.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So I think that is the whole thing. You need to kind of get deeper into it, and then you find. I'm skipping a few. I think Viewshed. I've talked about Viewshed already. Please take note of what I skipped from the material. Sorry about that. So everything that we want to talk about. The next topic that we are closing this class on is what we call the Viewshed or visibility analysis. And I think this is the last year. I think the next class probably we do a practical. So get your laptops ready. Yeah, please install QGIS. We'll be doing online tutorial. It's a very challenging thing to do. So make sure your computer is a good one. And
So what is QGIS?
QGIS is a software, it's GIS software. It's free and you can quickly download it and use it. That's why I'm recommending it for this tutorial. There are other software, but I'll be honest with you, licenses and all that, I don't want to get into cracking software. I don't want to, please, I'm sorry. But the principles I can teach you with the QGIS. And so that is what we are doing. You go online and then all you do is to type in QGIS download. And once you do that, download QGIS here. Look for your machine. If it's a Windows machine, stick with download for Windows and don't download network installer. Are you okay? There are software that are designed for networks and all that. Go for the standalone installer, which is this one. Check your machine, whether it's 64-bit or 32-bit, download the appropriate one. They've been encrypted so that if you have corruption in the files, okay. So download the appropriate, you can download the stable one. Sometimes you can download the latest one, but it may not be stable. Please download the stable one. Don't be over ambitious. Once you click it, it will start downloading straight to your computer. You see that at the bottom of your browser. Okay, it will take some time, but wait for it. Though it tarries, it's surely finish. Okay, so basically, you do this for me, and I'm laughing because I'm quoting the Bible verse in disguise. Download the QGIS software for me, install it. I'll give you data. I'll just drop the data as a zip file into your whether Google, Classroom, or I'll put it somewhere that you can access it, or WhatsApp or anything like that. And then when we meet, we will things will go faster if you've done these things. But if you now come to say, we were trying to install it, my machine is please, this things will be. All right, no excuses, get yourself ready, and we'll do some practical work. Then you
Sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir,
Today I've missed it. It's Godfrey.
Godfrey, did you just join us?
I was here today. Yes, since yesterday my light was off.
Sorry about that. Okay. Sorry about that. Is it back now?
So today I've missed. It's back. I've missed a lot.
You have, definitely you have. But it's okay. It's okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes, man.
The software, is it
Yes.
does it require to use it, does it rely on internet or it can
Yes,
be
you have to
downloaded?
download it, so you need internet. You need data.
No, like when you are using it, does it require internet
No, you
or we
don't.
can
No,
just...
when you are using it, you just use it. You don't need internet.
Okay, sir.
It works straight away. Once you install it, that's it. To work for you. It's all right. Okay, let's finish today's topic, surfaces. The thing about surfaces, let me tell the truth, you can actually manipulate a surface. You can generate new surfaces. You can create contours from points. You can create rasters from points. You can, all that is in the software. Are you okay? So it's fun you doing these things. But this is where you do raster, raster GIS. You using using surfaces. You can create what we call a cost surface, and you can do a lot. In fact, I think when you do a practical, you learn more than the theory. So I won't waste your time. When we do the practical, you get opportunity to learn more. Are you okay? So the last topic will be viewshed analysis. Okay, and then when we meet for the practical, I'll talk more. I'll talk more about it. Wait. So viewshed of this line of sight analysis. Another name for viewshed visibility analysis is line of sight analysis. What is viewshed visibility analysis or line of sight analysis? A viewshed, what is it? It is an area that is visible from a specific location. End of story. So you can just say the last topic. I'm putting this in my head. An area that is visible from a specific location. Once you do that, you have learned something today. That's all you have to learn. Is that right? Okay. Now, let's look at it in a bit of detail. What it really means is that there are security, applications. You can actually decide that the president is coming to a certain part of Wager, but we all know that Wager has very high points. So for security reasons, actually, if someone wants to assassinate a president, God forbid, we always employ a sniper, and the sniper will be at a high point, and then they can see far, and then the sniper device has been designed like that it can actually is that accurate. All right. So for security reasons, you want to generate a surface, and that surface shows you colored areas where a person can see from a certain vantage point. So now these areas now become your viewshed. It also sounds like what we call a watershed. So a watershed is also where water will normally meet, how do you call it? Like form. Water will build up, for lack of a better word. I'm tired and hungry. So watershed, viewshed, they are related. My bottom line is that you have one is light, where light light travels in a straight line. Okay. So the sniper is actually looking at what is visible without any intervisibility. Are you okay? Being blocked, we have intervisibility. Without intervisibility, the sniper cannot get a job done. But there are security applications. We can talk about telecommunication mask. Once we they put up the mast, not the mask, mast. Once we put up the mast, I should end this class, isn't it? Yeah, this is what Hanga can do. Pronouncing the wrong ways. So the mast can then send a signal, okay, the radio wave or something, whatever it is, that when you make a call, it goes to the receiver. The receiver has to now, broadcast the signal. So if someone calls you and they said, and it cannot reach you, sometimes it's because the signal cannot get to you, simple as that. Not because your phone is off. We've all experienced it where someone was right beside us and you made a call and they said his phone has been switched off. Okay. So the bottom line is that the application is in telecommunications and in security. So there are security applications where you want to know where light can reach, where we can see. That's the viewshed analysis. All right. and yet telecommunication applications where the signal can reach, knowing the maximum distance the signal can travel. Are you okay? All right. Now, how does this work? You need a DEM, or a digital elevation model. And the digital elevation model, you have to tell where the observer is, or you can determine, you can indicate where possible observer locations, and then say these are the areas that are visible. Now, if from the top of the building, they can see where the president is, then you should know that you have to deploy someone out of the building to go and check. Are you okay? So it's good for security, and we can also talk about the telecommunication one as well. All right, so visual analysis is powerful. You have to consider one, the radius that the observer, how far can the observer see? How far can the signal travel? So when we say how far the observer can see the target, we are also referring to how far a signal can travel. Or in this case, in the sniper's case, how far can the fastest sniping weapon, how far can the bullet go? So you get three different application areas now. All right. So you need to look at that radius. All right, so it means, if they pointed it out, okay. Then you can also look at the radius. We talked about the height of the target is important. If the target is elevated, it affects whether the target becomes visible or not. All right, in theory, I know people want to ask me questions, but let me quickly show you a diagram, and then I will now allow you to ask a question before the Zoom session ends on this one. But this is our last session, so let me make sure you get a chance to ask a question. So this is what happens. You have a DEM with pixels. Anytime I draw this, remember I'm drawing pixels, but I'm teaching you. I can't draw them small, millions of them. I can only draw a few. Put it in your mind. So, and these are regular. They are not irregular like I'm doing. All right, so they contain values of height, DEM. A DEM, the E is elevation. Elevation means height, so the values are height. So if I put 20 here, and I put 2 here, and I put 1 here, and I put 9 here, and I put 5 there, and I put 6 here, and I put 100 here. Okay, and the observer is actually placed here. All right, and we said, what is the view shed of this observer? We would then have to tell from the values. You have to know the height of the observer plus the value of the cell that the observer is in. So if the observer's location is actually 5, okay, if the height value here is 5, okay, then we can say if his height is 1 meter, then it's 6. Are you with me? We have to consider that. So this one is being done by a software. When we are teaching you, a lot of things we are teaching you, they are implemented in software. We don't want to have a world in which robots are ruling. That is why we are teaching all of you. Are you okay? Otherwise, we'll be teaching. We just code all this, and then nobody comes to school again. Then robots will be doing it already. All right, great. We need to understand what the robots are doing, don't we? All right, great. So now here we go. What cells can be visible and what cells are not visible? That is viewshed analysis. So if I can have a pen, you have to now tell me which cells are visible and which cells are not visible. Okay, so anybody can start. Mention a few. I'm just gonna. This is 1, 2, second, third column, fourth column, first row, second row, third row, fourth, fifth. Okay, so I want everyone to talk. I'm using that to take attendance. Everyone say something for me. So I'll start with Christian. Christian.
Yes, sir.
Give me one cell that is visible.
One cell that is visible is cell 1 in the second row.
So give me the row and column. I want row and column.
Row and column.
Yes.
So row 2, column 3.
Okay, row 2, column 3 is visible. Okay, thank you. Next person, consult Mike. Mike, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Mike. Cells that are visible from cell number two.
Row 9, cell 4.
Okay, 2, 3 is actually row 9. Row what?
Cell 4.
There's no row 9. It's 1,
Row
2, 3,
9,
4,
cell
5.
4.
There's no row 9. It's 4 rather.
Row 4, cell 4. Sir.
Okay. Row 4, cell 4, 4, 4.
Yes, sir.
So 6. Okay, yeah, because 10 is greater than 6, isn't it? Okay. That's
Yes,
that one. That's a very remote one, but you are right. You are correct. Yes, Ben. Ben. Yes.
Row 2, column 2.
Okay, that's an easy one, isn't it, Ben? You like easy stuff, don't you? Yes. Next, Gotthold.
Sir.
Yes. Which cells
I
are
can
this?
say something, but I don't understand because I just came.
Okay, that's fine. So you just say choose any of them. I know, right?
Okay. Row 3, column 4.
Okay, row 3, column 4. Yes, it's visible because 17 is greater than 1. So it's like you, a short person, looking at a tall person. But then if you have a short, something behind a tall person, you can't see it. All right, so, okay, now I've changed the question. So, Bob, right, the question now is that tell me a cell which cannot be seen from the observer's location.
Sir, can you hear me here?
I can hear you very
In the
well.
place where I am, there is noise.
Okay, what cell cannot be seen? Say it and then mute your mic.
Okay, so let's say row 1, column 3.
It can be seen, so because 20 is greater than 6, or I mean, okay, 6 is, so it can be seen. Okay, next person, yeah, it can be seen. Yeah, Nanayo, what cell cannot be seen, Nanayo? What cell cannot be seen, Nanayo? So it means Nanayo is correct. What cell cannot be seen? Yes. Grace is gone.
Should we answer?
Yeah, let him answer. I think he's here. What cell cannot be seen?
Row 3, column 1.
3, 1. It can be seen. Why do you think it cannot be seen? Yeah, but I think you are right. It cannot be seen. But do you know the reason why it cannot be seen? Because it's blocked by the row 2, column 1.
Yes.
Yes. So even if you do a diagonal, it won't be visible. All right. Okay, guys. Please, I think that is basically it for Viewshed. That's how it works.
So there's one more.
Carry on.
So we cannot see row 1, column 4.
Yes, I wanted someone to mention that one because it's a very low thing behind something that is tall, so it can be seen. All right, great. Thanks so much. That is how Viewshed analysis works. Okay, basically, you have the observer's location, and then blah, blah, blah. You have to consider the view of the observer. Look at the vertical angle. Look at the the azimuth. Okay. Sometimes a view can be limited in the horizontal direction. Okay. So all those factors have to factored into it. Okay. The azimuth, that's what I wanted to talk about. Okay. There's a whole lot that can be done with rasters. Here you can see we are doing what we call reclassification. We can just, because they are values, we can group them. Okay, so here the values are a lot different values, but here on the right hand side in the blue image we have reclassified. Okay, we have reclassified, and here we have even reclassified into 2 classes only. Okay, so if you go back to the squares we've drawn, can you imagine if we start grouping it 0 to 10, and then we just 0 to 10. Every cell, look at it, is it 0 to 10 or is it 10 to 20? Then all the cells will now look like the same, but then in 2 groups, all right? That is when you have what we are seeing on the board. Okay, when you get the material, please read it. Like I said, we can create what we call cost distance. Maybe in a practical, these things become, appearance. All right, guys, I'll leave it there for now. I think we are done. If you have any question, let me know. There's a raster calculator which can be used to manipulate the algorithms and functionalities in the software that will do things like the reclassification for you. Are you okay? Where we just, reclassify the data, etc. You can do volume calculations and all that. It's just a tutorial you have to go through, step 1, step 2. We may not have time to do all that. We'll start with the basics in the practical, and given the virtual nature of our class, you can imagine how challenging it will be. People will just opening something will take minutes. So, but we'll try, yeah? We'll try and see how it goes. Okay, so if you have anything that you want to talk about, please do. Otherwise, I think we'll end it here. Anything you want to talk about, please talk about it. Otherwise, we end it here. Someone said we are grateful. Thanks. See you next week. Yeah. Okay. Thanks so much to Naya. God bless you all. Take care. And bye-bye. See you next week. Please get a software installed for me. I'll let you have the data. Bye-bye.
Sure, the slide and then the video.
Yes, you get the link. Please, I hope you found where all the videos are.
Yeah, the YouTube.
The channel, please.
Yeah.
I always put it, and normally I put it latest by Wednesday. That's what I do.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
All the best. Take care. Bye-bye.